It's a lovely day here where I am in Cork. So I hope you have lovely weather today as well. Welcome everybody. This is our second WAI Practice Showcase session of 2021. My name is Bhuwana Ganesh and I'm a PhD researcher in UCC. This is going to be a recorded session which will be published in YouTube and a lot of our other channels. The topic for today is understanding popularity in music with artificial intelligence, which is extending the WAI Practice showcases for this year. WAI Practice, which is the Women in AI Ireland practice, is a part of our WAI Learn program. And as the name suggests, it's a program meant to provide opportunities to people for practicing their AI skills, not just for women, it's for everybody. So feel free to join when our next cohort opens. The strength of WAI Practice, though, it's in group work. Unlike hackathons, this WAI Practice sessions, the projects that we take, resemble real life situations, what you would face in a workplace. In addition to that, we have mentors, we have coordinators, all a part of Women in AI Ireland, who help you play your part, learn effectively, and develop new skills. How do we bring value? In that case, in that sense, we give people the opportunity to practice leadership, mentorship, project management skills. And the final outcome will be something that you can showcase to everybody, like what we have today. So you can also make new friendships, connect with new people, new companies, and grow your network. As an upgrade to our WAI Practice sessions this year, we will be having these project presentations where the team members will discuss about how they identified a problem, approached and solved that particular problem using different technologies. We will shortly hear more about the projects themselves from the speakers. So let's move on to introduce our speakers for today. Karen Chong. She is a quality analyst in TikTok. Welcome, Karen. Thank you so much for joining today. She has recently completed a higher diploma in data analytics, and she is also studying for a foundation certificate in artificial intelligence because of her enthusiasm for the domain. Her original academic background was in business management. However, the passion for data science has taken over, and now she uses data analysis to perform everyday tasks better, derive meaningful insights, and highlight trends. She is also furthering her journey with Women in AI. Welcome, Karen. So the second speaker for today is Puja Chaudia. She has a master's in data science from University College Dublin, and after her MSc, she has joined Chrysalis as a data analyst and has worked on a wide range of projects from deep neural networks, OpenCV, RPA development, building machine learning models, and data visualization. So much. She has so much experience with AI. She has also experience around delivering data science training, and so she is the mentor for the project for today, and she mentored Karen and others in doing this project. Also, Chrysalis, her company, happens to be one of the main sponsors for Women in AI Ireland. So a shout out to Chrysalis. Now I pass on the center screen to the speakers. And let's see if they can explain what kind of music people like these days. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment, or you can put your hand up and ask the question at the end of the presentation. Over to you guys. All the best.
Thank you. So I'll just quickly share my screen. Is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes. Now it's in PowerPoint. But we can see both your screens. Is that okay? Yeah, now it's perfect. Yeah. Thank you.
So the name of our project is Understanding Popularity in Music with AI using Spotify and Twitter data. So basically, we have used two different data set over here. One is from the Spotify API and the other is from the Twitter. So as Bhuwana has already introduced ourselves, so I'll just quickly introduce myself. Like, my name is Puja Chaudia, and I'm currently working with Chrysalis as a data analytics consultant and trainer. So I have experience around delivering training in data visualization mainly. So I have experience around building dashboards in Tableau, Power BI, and Excel. And I have also worked on different range of different projects ranging from deep neural networks, OpenCV, RPA development, machine learning models. So basically, I love working on data and deriving insights from it to solve any business problem. So that's about me. And this is my another team member, that is Karin. Karin, would you like to introduce yourself quickly?
Yeah, so as Vanna already mentioned, at the moment I'm working as a quality analyst in TikTok, and at the moment I'm still trying to upskill my data analytics skills and machine learning skills. That's why I am undertaking the foundation certificate in artificial intelligence, and yeah, and I am very happy to have this opportunity to take on this project because this would actually giving me the opportunity to leverage the skills and techniques that I actually learned from school and applied to a real life project, and then get to know different type of senior analysts within the domain. And I am super excited, and I'm looking forward to show you guys our work.
Yeah, thank you so much, Karin. So before we start with our project, I would quickly would like to share our experience as a team with WAI Learn. So definitely there were challenges along developing the project, and along with that there were positive things also. So the first thing was like we got to do hands-on project, hands-on AI project. So basically by doing this, we got to practice and gain new skills. Definitely we got to use the skills that we already had in developing this project, but also gained new skills from our team members. Second is to grow network. I think this is a great way if you want to grow network in the data science domain or AI domain, I would say, to collaborate with team outside regular work domain. The third is really very interesting, mixed background and learn from each other. So basically, the team members who were there in our team, we all were from different backgrounds in terms of the skills and technology that we knew. So definitely because of that, we got to learn a lot from each other, because of one like everybody had different experience. So based on their experience, like they used to share, like this is what we did, and these are the challenges that we faced while taking this approach, and these are the challenges that we face while taking that approach. So that experience really helped us a lot and definitely gave us a different perspective, and definitely we got to learn a lot from each other. Then the support from people who are involved in WA Learn community is also really very good, because of the bi-weekly meetings that used to take place. That really helped us in keeping our project on track. So that's about that. Then the last point is to submit the project and like not giving up no matter what the situation is. So definitely, like as we all are working full time, definitely it is challenging to work alongside that thing. So whatever piece of work we develop, we should present it at the end of the day, because we have participated in this. So definitely learned this thing, like don't give up in the middle of your project, complete it and deliver whatever you have done. And the challenges were again like managing time for project alongside full-time work, though it is challenging, but I would say I really enjoyed it. And managing project work when the files got deleted accidentally. Now this really happened with us, like the Python work that I did, the initial exploratory data analysis that I did in Python. So the files got deleted by me accidentally, and definitely, like instead of redoing all those things again in Python, I just thought that instead of doing that in Python, why not just try something different? And that's why I tried I tried doing something in Tableau, which I'll show you in the later part of the session. So the main thing I would say of our team was like, it was about what we find rather than how we find it. So it was more about like we didn't keep any kind of technology constraints while working on the project. So whoever was comfortable with whatever technology, we just kept it like whoever is comfortable with whatever technology. Like if I'm comfortable with Python or Tableau, I will do it in Python Tableau. If Karen is comfortable in R, do it in R. So there were no constraints in terms of technology. So we were mostly about what we can get it, what kind of analysis we can derive. So our main focus was on that. So that was about the experience that we had with the WAI Learn. Then the approach to develop this project. So initially, in the start, when the teams were formed, we met for the first time and we brainstormed about the project topic and domain. Now, given that we all are working full time, we kept the scope of the project small and really very basic. So that was the first approach I would say we had, because we had different topics and the scope for those topics were really large, I would say, given the time constraint and the amount of efforts that we can put in this WAI Learn project. So based on that, the scope of the project is small and really very basic. So that was our first approach. Then we developed a project plan and divided it into different tasks like data collection, data preparation, exploratory data analysis, analysis modeling phase, and then the report writing. I think so we divided it in this way. And definitely this was based on the bi-weekly meetings, which was scheduled by the WAI Learn community. So just to keep those in sync and to make sure that we have something to present in the meetings. So based on that, we developed this kind of a plan. And we used to have bi-weekly meetings on Zoom calls and communicate on WhatsApp group. Like if there are any issues or if there are any new ideas, then we used to just message it on WhatsApp. So this was the approach that we used to develop the project. Now talking about the project, so Spotify is the largest audio streaming and media provider in the world, as we all know. It provides digital music, podcasts, and video streaming services. So it has 345 million active users till date, and that's helpful for the artist to reach their audience. So definitely we can imagine how huge the data set is. So in this project, we have explored and analyzed Spotify data set, which is available on Kaggle, to understand how music has changed over the period of time. Now, given that the data is available for the year from 1921 to 2021, now the time period is quite large. And so we were interested in understanding like how the music has changed over the period of time. And then we also performed some sentiment analysis for the most popular artist, the Beatles. So as it is quite tricky to analyze and understand large data set, I think visualizing the data to understand trends and features can be of a great help. And that's what we did. So the first thing that we did is the exploratory data analysis in Tableau. So in this, we wanted to understand how the audio features changed over time against popularity by creating animation in Tableau. So our main element was the popularity element in the data set. And against that, we just compared different features which were there in our data. And the second was finding out the most popular artist till date. Then the second piece that we did was the Twitter sentiment analysis in R. So in that, we wanted to understand what people are talking about the Beatles through tweets, location analysis of Twitter users tweeting about the hashtag the Beatles, the sentiment analysis of the hashtag the Beatles, that is whether it is positive or negative. So Karen will take you through this Twitter sentiment analysis part step by step, and I'll take you through what we did in Tableau. But before that, I would like to talk about the data. So the data, as I said, we have used two different types of data. So one is from the Kaggle website. So the data is sourced from the Kaggle website, where the data is collected from Spotify API only. So the data contains more than 175,000 songs, along with the information of artist, genre, and the data is from the year 1921 to 2021. Now talking about this data, like the data is all numeric. So there are different features in the data set, which talks about there are different attributes of the song. So basically, danceability, energy, then popularity is there, liveliness, loudness of the song. So these are the different features, different attributes of the songs are the features of our data set. So all these features are numeric, and that's why what we did in Tableau was, so as all the data set that we had was numeric, what we did was we just created a basic animation for different features against popularity, just to get to know how the features have changed over time in terms of popularity. So I'll quickly go through the animation that we created in Tableau. So this is our Tableau worksheet. So here you can see it is the loudness feature is featured over here. So it is loudness versus popularity of the song. So on the x-axis, you can see the loudness feature, and on the y-axis, we have the popularity feature. And this black line, which is there, it's on an average value for popularity, and this is on an average value for the loudness. So here we have the ear. Now we'll just start this animation and see how loudness feature has changed over time and how it has affected the popularity of the song. So I'll just start this now. So this is moving, and this here you can see the year is changing. So it is 1952-53, and we can see this change in the loudness and popularity thing. So initially the songs which were loud were not that popular, but as time went by, the songs having high loudness started gaining popularity. So we can see that the values have gone above the average line over here. So again, we can see like the popularity started decreasing in 2000s, and there we can clearly see there are two groups which have formed now over the period of time. So this is what we can study by doing this kind of animation in Tableau. Like initially the songs having low values of like loudness, the songs which were not that loud were not much popular, but as the time went by, they started gaining popularity. And again, after in 2000s, again, the popularity started decreasing, and we had two clear different groups for the loudness factor against popularity. So this is how we can study how the data has changed over time through this animation in Tableau. So just another quick example I would like to give is about speechiness versus popularity. Like speechiness means the number of words which are used in the songs. So on x-axis, we have speechiness attribute, and on y-axis, we have popularity attribute. So again, I'll start. Again, this black line indicates the average value. And we can see that on an average, the speechiness value is very low. So let's quickly see this. I'll just play this in fast forward mode. Yeah. So we can see that the value of speechiness has increased, but still were not that popular. Songs having low speechiness value started gaining popularity over the period of time. And again, popularity started decreasing in around 2016, 2017. And like this is the pattern that we can study in an interesting manner using Tableau by creating the animation. So I'll quickly go to this. So that was about the animation, to study about how features have changed over time in Tableau. So that was about it. And the second thing that we did in Tableau was we created a dashboard in Tableau. So it was basically a dashboard for the artists for the particular year, that is 2020, because looking at the data, we got to know that for the year 2020, we have good amount of data. So we decided to create a dashboard for the year 2020 only. So if on the left-hand side, top left-hand side, so we can see that popularity of artists in descending order. So we can see the artists are ranked in descending order in terms of popularity for the year 2020. Then we have songs of artists in descending order of popularity. Now, for this artist, these are the songs sung by that artist, created by that artist. So again, based on the popularity of the song, they are arranged in descending order. Then we have popularity of songs by year. So for that artist, we have the trend over time, popularity trend over time. And then we have this different features of songs like acousticsness, loudness, danceability, and instrumentalness in against the popularity. So basically, this is an interactive kind of a dashboard. So if I click on any one of the artists, so for example, in the second image, if I clicked on the workout music, so when I click on this, I get to know what are the songs created by that artist, that is workout music. So these are the songs developed by that artist, and they are placed in descending order of popularity. We can see that from the year 2017, the artist came into the picture, and the artist gained popularity. The highest popularity that artist had was in the year 2020. So this is, we can easily see from this chart, from this line chart. And again, like what kind of music artist develops. So the average line really helps us out to understand what kind of music artist actually creates. So this is the whole purpose of the dashboard. And on the top we can see like total songs by that artist. So for workout music, there are 94 songs. So this is how we can just quickly understand what are the songs created by the artist, this popularity of those songs over the period of time, and different features of songs which are created by that artist. So this is about the dashboard in Tableau. And the second part that we did is Twitter sentiment analysis. So Karen will go through what we did in the Twitter sentiment analysis step by step. So I'll hand over this now to Karen. Karen, hand over to you now. So I'll stop.
Thank you, Puja.
No problem. You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, so we're going into the Twitter sentimental analysis. So let me just place it to full screen. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, as we already mentioned from Puja's analysis, that we understood that based on the exploratory data analysis, the Beatles, they're actually the top 1 artist in the popularity board between 1921 to 2021. So they're like iconic throughout all the years. So that's why it's coming to our question. We would love to study this group, whether what type of feedback, whether they're positive or negative from the Twitter user. So that is those are the 3 of our objectives for today. So before our demo, I would love to talk about what type of tools I'm using. So in this analysis, I have used R to perform the sentimental analysis. And for the very first step, of course, we needed to extract data from Twitter API. And later on, I will talk throughout the demo. Second part, we will extract useful specific, because there are so many different types of variables after our extraction, but there are some specific columns that we are actually interested for our analysis. That's why we will do a subset and put it into a new data frame. So So that would be more focused for our further analysis. So, and then on the third step, we will remove all the punctuation and all different type of unnecessary symbols. So then we can plug into the model and do our sentimental analysis in the end. So let's get into our demo. As you guys can see, this is the software. So to start, first of all, maybe I can quickly go through what type of packages that we are using. So these are the basic packages that we will use for data cleaning, data manipulation, or like data visualization, or a little bit of sentimental analysis. And in this part, for example, the first two, it is specifically for all to connect with our Twitter API. In that way, we can extract data from Twitter. So two software actually connected. And in the meantime, we also have to install some sort of, for example, this one, it is relating to Excel. So we can use different type of a package to open an Excel file or read Excel file, etc. So here, here I do have like 3 different type of sentimental library to show. So for example, Affine, this is pretty interesting as you can see after I run this package. So there are different type of words. So from measuring this type of word, we will get to know, okay, maybe happy, that could be score plus, I don't know, +4, let's say. So in the end, after measuring all the word, we will have maybe +9. That's mean like, oh, this type of content is like relatively positive. So we get to understand. And then the second one, we do have Bing. So for this package is also another type of sentimental, but specifically to measure a word that is positive or negative. Yeah, and then on the third one, which is NRC. So for this package, we will measure, okay, whether that specific word that is to wording, let's say like fear, like happy, or like anger, what type of emotion is that word is actually delivering. Okay, then next step, this is a must step because you have to set a working directory. Okay, then after that, we will go ahead and set up the Twitter token. So this is how we would create and bond with the Twitter. So I already extract everything. So in here, we will go ahead and extract, because today our aim is to extract Beatles. So the Beatles, that's gonna be our aim. And then I have target 3,000 samples. And in here, we can see is EN. That's mean we're actually wanted to extract data that's appeared in English, because that's part of our analysis. Or if you want to do it in French, then you can also like put it FR or any other coding. So that actually according to your needs. So as I already mentioned, I've already previously extracted. So this is our output. Although we don't have like 3,000 observation, that's okay. Sometimes it's really depending on how many samples we actually allowed to extract from the Twitter API. So that's what we get. And then we do have like 90 variables. But again, 90 variables, that's a huge amount of data. And then there's a lot of columns that would be less unnecessary for our analysis. In this case, I have specified all different type of attributes that is beneficial for our analysis. So these are 9 columns that I actually wanted to extract, and I have put it into a new data data frame, and then to call it to the Beatles sub. And in here, actually like just transfer that into a workable data frame, so I can work with it. So this is the extracted data frame in here. So we can see it's 9 variables only. And then after that, I will, this is how I do the export. So again, like remember, we actually have installed all different type of packages. And so because after we extracted the data, so we want to export that into an Excel file for further use, or you want to transfer the data to someone else. So this is how we do it. So in here, once we run this code, we will have a new set of data set actually appeared in our working directory folder that's available for our use. Then after this specific this line of code, then in here I will go ahead and read my Excel file that this is what I actually previously saved. So which is exactly same as this. There's no difference. So again, like because for each data set, there's a lot of different type of like punctuation. There's a lot of symbols that's not very good for our analysis that could actually affect our accuracy. So in this case, I have specifically looking into two different type of columns. So the first one is location and the next one is text. So the idea is just to use this GSUB function to subset all different type of punctuation and symbols, so that can make sure my data set is clean and I can plug into the sentimental analysis model. So in here, after I actually cleaned my data, so I actually made a WorkCloud. So in this WorkCloud, we can understand what type of popular location would the audience focus on. Let me see, where is it now? I think it's England. Wait. Yeah, England. This is the previous output that I already did. So there's a lot of people or users, audience, they are actually based in England from making this tweet message with the hashtag the Beatles. And then for further understanding, and when we run this code, we will get to understand, okay, there's actually like 216 unique location within this data set. So that's how we know. And then when I run this code, and that would become a bar chart, so I can understand there's a lot of NA value, but apart from NA value, yes, it is the UK would be actually the #1 rank 1 location in our analysis. So that is actually matching our previous WorkCloud output. Yeah. So in here, I also wanted to know what is the verified user number. So I have calculated, and I know there are only 55 accounts that is like verified, and then majority of them, they are not. So that is coming to a little bit calculation in here. So I understood that the verified number is only up to 1.01%, and majority of them, they are not verified. That's okay. So after that, I have also I can also put the data into a corpus. So basically, it's just another way for removing the punctuation and or symbols. So either way is fine. You can use the above function GSUB, or you can use corpus. But in this case, I've used the corpus to do this function. So in here, I'm actually focusing like what people they're actually talking about for the Beatles, this work, because in corpus, I actually input the text. So this is the tweet message itself. So so apart from Beatles, there's a lot of people like actually just talking about music, song, and just like a combination big WorkCloud, and see what people are actually talking about when they're tweeting tweet message with that specific hashtag. So that's how we know and learned. And finally, since everything I cleaned, so it's ready to put in the sentimental model, as we already mentioned, the NRC function that we can understand whether a specific word that is like fear, happy, or sad, etc. So I actually plugged into, I used the text, the tweet message column and then plug it into this model. But as we can see, this positive is very high, but negative there's relatively high as well. So it's hard to get to understand whether this is positive or not. That's why I actually use another package, which is under Bing. Remember, we've already mentioned Bing is a function that to identify all the wording, whether they are positive relating or negatively. So after I use this function, so I actually can understand the final output is there is 4,781 sentimental score to wording negative, and there's only 2005 which are positive. So that is coming into our conclusion for this analysis. Although the Beatles, they are ranked one in popularity throughout all the years, but based on the sentimental NLP analysis techniques, the output has proven that they have entirely different perspective on the Twitter platform. So that's how we can understand. And that's really it for our analysis. Just a little message to shout out. I actually personally, I really enjoyed this practice group program, and I think everybody, if you are interested in data science or machine learning and you want to practice on your existing knowledge and skills, it would be great to join us number one, to enrich your knowledge again, because like although I study data science from school, but I wouldn't have the opportunity to do real life project with different type of senior analysis within the industry that is really meaningful for me. And then the second is to exchange, because I can collaborate with different people and I can learn from my mentor or my teammate, etc. And then the third one is the idea. I would get inspired from them, from their experience, from their knowledge. I would have different type of perspective on my journey towards my data science or like machine learning or artificial intelligence journey in the future. And that's how we wrapped up the presentation. So if you're interested on our project itself, you can actually click into our GitHub. There's a link showed on the screen. So there's step-by-step within code and all the logic behind the actual project. And then for more information, you can actually click into the second link, which is the YLearn URL. So in there, you can get to understand what different type of practice group or certificates that they're actually doing. And then thirdly, if you want to join us for this project or like interested to join the community or follow the news, like please click into their LinkedIn. So that's really it, and thank you.
That was a really amazing presentation. I really like the work that you two have done and the effort that you've put into it. Does anybody have a question for Pooja and Karin?
I'd like to say a couple of words. First of all, it was really good presentation, Karin and Pooja. Thank you so much. Just one maybe straightforward question. Using that data, I'm just looking at it. I just clicked on the link and I'm looking at the data as well. What else can be interesting to extract from that data? Like if we were to work on it, would you have any suggestions? What could be interesting from it?
Yeah, I think the two parts we have already, like Twitter sentiment analysis and the exploration of data set in tab Python. Thing we can do is modeling, like create different models to predict the popularity of the songs. I would suggest, yeah, maybe future work would be to create models to predict the popularity of the song, even different.
Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see.
Welcome.
Because music has evolved a lot over time, and there haven't been like super hits in the last 3-4 years, probably because there's no Beyonce, Rihanna, but I'm biased anyway. Does anybody else have any questions?
And another thing I would love to add is if I have the chance to do further analysis, one thing would be very interesting. I think everybody have the feeling that why does like music from the 70s or the 80s always become iconic throughout all the years, but not like those music in the 30s or 40s. It's interesting, right? Maybe like we can actually dive in deeper and find the actual like source or seed, like what is the click, or what is maybe there is some sort of music that everybody like feel more like engaged to, like the so that maybe that would be a possibility to work on. I think it's pretty interesting.
Thanks,
yeah.
Karen. Actually, when you mentioned that, it actually, while Puja was presenting, the trend has changed at some certain year. People have started having different tastes. It would be interesting to make a connection there. What happened around those years?
Yeah. Yeah, there is a question from the chat. Vivian Shen has a question. Was there a time frame plug-in for the plugin for the Twitter analysis? Was there a plugin for the Twitter analysis for time frames?
There wasn't a time frame. Anything, we didn't look into that perspective due to because there was 90 different type of variables, but I didn't get to extract that specific column, so I didn't look into that. Within our project.
Yeah. So Diego has another question. You can unmute yourself and ask the question, Diego.
Yeah. Thanks, guys, for the presentation. I have a question. Okay, we know we are working on popularity of songs, and I can understand that popularity for kind of recent songs. I mean, the popularity that we can find in Spotify or Twitter for the recent songs, I mean, it's kind of true. But what about songs from the 60s? I mean, are we really sure that we can represent the popularity of those songs, but actually with platform and data that are kind of recent from those years? I mean, are we really sure that we have a ground truth when we speak about popularity of older songs? I imagine like in 50 years, we might say, I know that Beyonce was popular in 2021. Why? Because we have a lot of data for Beyonce, we have a lot of users, but the situation was not like this in the 60s. We had nothing. Like everything we are collecting now from those years might be kind of biased because we are collecting this data now. So
Yeah.
did you think about that? Do you have an idea how to, verify this, if we have some bias in the data or something?
Definitely, we thought about this, like we understood this factors there in this, but we didn't really give a thought to this, like what we can do to reduce this bias because of the data set, because there's a problem with the data set over here. It's biased. So we didn't give any thought to it, but definitely this was a factor that came up in our discussion.
Okay. Yeah, because as well, I worked my PhD on kind of debiasing a data set. And here I guess that we have two problems. Like, of course, the platform itself that is collecting the data might create some bias in the collection itself. And now there's a second problem that is what I was mentioning before, like the fact that we are speaking about songs really, and popularity of those songs many years ago. So, okay, I think that, yeah, probably an interesting direction in the future would be this one. I think that this would be very, very interesting. Okay, thank you.
Interesting to move. Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the question, Diego. I'm sure that if you contact our project members in LinkedIn, they will be more than happy to answer more of your questions. I am so sorry to announce that we have to close the session for today. It's going beyond the time limit. So I would like to thank the speakers so much for actually coming forward with the project today and demonstrating the work they've done. I am sure that a lot of us would have learned a lot of new things today. I have, for sure, and I can speak on behalf of Women in AI Ireland. I thank the contributors a lot for this, for the people who made this happen today. Alessandra, Nabanita, Begum, Claudia, Toju, Swati, Luciana, Meghna, and all the other wonderful ladies from Women in AI who made this WAI practice session possible. Just to give you an example of the other projects that we are working on in WAI practice now, we're using machine learning for predicting seismic pumps, for earthquake predictions. For chocolates, we have chatbots, Facebook Barbie dataset, we have the female employment dataset, etc. So if you wish to participate in the future sessions, we have another cohort opening in June, so you can feel free. You can check out the LinkedIn channel continuously. We will be posting more events there. Please make sure that it will be in July. Thank you, Nabanita. It will be in July, and please make sure you join our next cohort for a wonderful project. So thanks to everybody for attending the session today, and keep an eye out for our next event on NLP, which is coming soon. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
And also please fill the feedback form so that we get to know who is attending the session, and we'll get to cater it accordingly. Thanks a lot. Have a nice afternoon, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.